What if some of your everyday habits, things you do without even thinking about them, are quietly damaging your memory every single day? Most people focus on what they should be doing for their brain, but researchers have found that what you stop doing can matter just as much, sometimes even more. Today I am going to walk you through 6 common habits that are silently working against your memory and brain health, and most people are doing at least 3 of them right now without realizing it. Stay until the end, because habit number 4 surprises almost everyone who watches this video. Mistake number 1. Constantly multitasking, especially with screens. Watching television while scrolling your phone, checking email while on a phone call, listening to a podcast while trying to read something important. Here is what most people do not realize. The brain does not actually multitask. It rapidly switches attention back and forth between tasks, and every single switch has what researchers call a switching cost, a small loss of focus and working memory capacity. Over time, constant task switching trains the brain to operate in short, shallow bursts of attention rather than deep, sustained focus. And deep focus is exactly what is required to form strong, lasting memories. A study from Stanford University found that people who frequently multitask performed worse on memory tasks than those who focused on one thing at a time, even when given the same amount of total time. Try this instead. When you are doing something important, close other tabs, put your phone in another room, and give that one task your full attention for just 20 minutes at a time. Mistake number 2, going long periods of time without any physical movement. Sitting for extended periods, whether at a desk or in front of the television, reduces blood flow throughout the body, including to the brain. Reduced blood flow means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching brain cells. A study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that sedentary behavior was directly associated with thinning in the medial temporal lobe, a brain region critical for forming new memories, even in people who exercised regularly at other times of the week. The key insight here is that exercising once a day does not cancel out being sedentary for the other 10 or 12 waking hours. What matters most is breaking up long periods of sitting. Try standing up and walking for just 2 to 3 minutes every hour. Set a simple reminder if you need to. This small habit keeps blood flowing consistently throughout the day, rather than just once during a workout. Mistake number 3. Withdrawing from social interaction and spending most of your time alone. This one surprises a lot of people because it does not feel like an obviously unhealthy habit. But social isolation is now considered one of the strongest risk factors for cognitive decline that researchers have identified. A major study published in Neurology followed thousands of adults and found that those who were socially isolated had a significantly higher risk of developing dementia, independent of other health factors like diet and exercise. Why does this happen? Social interaction requires complex cognitive work, following conversations, reading facial expressions, remembering names and details about others, responding appropriately. This is essentially a full-body workout for your brain that simply cannot be replicated by being alone. If you have been spending more time alone lately, make it a goal to have at least one real conversation every day, whether it is a phone call, a visit with a neighbor, or joining a local group or class. Senior sitting alone at home looking out a window, slightly wistful, cut to a warm, contrasting scene of the... Now we reach mistake number 4, the one I mentioned at the beginning that surprises almost everyone. Always taking the easiest mental route available to you. This means things like always using GPS, even for routes you know well, always using a calculator for simple math you could do in your head, always asking a smart speaker instead of trying to recall information yourself. Here is why this matters. Your brain operates on a use it or lose it principle, much like a muscle. Every time you offload a small mental task to technology instead of attempting it yourself first, you miss an opportunity to exercise the neural pathways involved in memory and problem solving. This does not mean throw away your GPS or calculator. It means try to recall the route yourself first, then check GPS to confirm. Try the math in your head first, then verify with the calculator. Try to remember the fact yourself for 10 seconds before asking your smart speaker. These tiny moments of mental effort, repeated daily, are what actually build and maintain strong neural pathways over time. Mistake number 5, consistently poor sleep habits, especially using screens right before bed. We touched on sleep briefly in an earlier video, but it deserves its own spotlight here because of one specific habit. scrolling on your phone or watching television right up until you fall asleep. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production, the hormone responsible for helping you fall into deep sleep. And deep sleep is precisely when your brain activates its glymphatic system, the cleaning process that clears out toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Going to bed at inconsistent times, scrolling on your phone in bed, or falling asleep with the television on all disrupt this critical cleaning process night after night. Try setting a consistent bedtime, turning off screens at least 30 minutes before sleep, and keeping your bedroom dark and cool. Your brain does its most important repair work while you sleep. Give it the conditions it needs to do that job properly. And finally, mistake number 6, ignoring or neglecting high blood pressure or high blood sugar, even when it feels manageable. This is sometimes called a silent risk factor because high blood pressure and high blood sugar often do not cause noticeable symptoms in their early stages, which makes them easy to put off addressing. But research has consistently shown that the blood vessels in the brain are particularly sensitive to both high blood pressure and elevated blood sugar over time. Damage to these small blood vessels restricts blood flow to brain tissue and is now recognized as one of the most significant contributors to vascular dementia. The encouraging news is that this is one of the most controllable risk factors on this entire list. Regular checkups, monitoring at home if your doctor recommends it, and following your doctor's guidance on diet, exercise, or medication can meaningfully reduce this risk over time. If it has been a while since you had your blood pressure or blood sugar checked, consider making that appointment this week. Let's quickly recap the 6 things to stop doing if you want to protect your memory. Number 1. Constant multitasking, especially with screens. Number 2. Long periods without any physical movement. Number 3. Withdrawing from social interaction. Number 4. Always taking the easiest mental route instead of exercising your brain. Number 5. Poor sleep habits, especially screens right before bed. Number 6. Ignoring high blood pressure or blood sugar. Here's the good news. You do not need to fix all 6 of these overnight. Pick just one this week, maybe the one that surprised you the most, and focus on improving just that single habit. Small, consistent changes sustained over months and years are what actually protect your brain over the long run. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Sharp Mind After 50 and hit the notification bell. Every week we share simple, science-backed information to help you protect your memory and keep your mind sharp for life. I will see you in the next video.